One Sunday this past January, when I didn't have a car to drive to my own church, I visited a church my son attends, and something the pastor shared really struck me. The preacher told a story about a little girl, maybe 7 or 8, who asked her mother, an art professor, was she there at work? Her mom said, I teach students how to draw. The girl, confused, asked, you mean they forgot? For a child who loved to draw, the idea that adults need to be taught how to draw didn't make sense. What hit me was what the pastor said next. Quote, perhaps we forgot how to relate to Jesus. End of quote. Right then, I remember something my adult daughter told me at the start of the new year. She said, quote, my vision was of you as a little baby with light around you, and God was looking at you and saw you as his baby. End of quote. So when the pastor said some of us may have forgotten how to relate to Jesus, just like adults forgetting how to draw because they are no longer children, I immediately thought of Matthew 18:4. Jesus said, unless you change and become like little children, whoever humbles himself like this child is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Maybe God is bringing me back to that place, childlike, humble, dependent. And honestly, the season I'm in has already been pushing me there. My wife's catastrophic illness has brought me to utter desperation. Now, this blog isn't about the details of her condition. Today is about what God has been revealing about me as I've been crying out to him for my wife for almost 39 years. Yes, faith feels different now. Stripped down, raw, honest. I'm back to the basics, simply crying out to the Lord like a child. Let me tell you now how I got here. I never kept a journal, but I started writing periodically at the end of last year. One entry was from December 16th while I was praying at Anna Prayer Mountain run by Korean Christians around 9:30 p.m. I had gone there 120 miles from my home to pray and fast because I had a lot on my mind. My wife's illness, my family issues, and turning 65. Here's what I wrote with some additions. Soon after I prayed, Lord, speak to me, I heard a man praying loudly outside, getting closer. He was screaming, 주여, 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 Lord, Lord, Lord. I really hate that way of praying. It feels forced and artificial to me. But he kept going, fast, furious, incoherent. He ran upstairs and shouted for another 15 to 20 minutes. I was so annoyed. I even thought about leaving, but I waited him out. When he finally left, I wonder why that happened right after I asked God to speak. I assumed nothing meaningful had happened, just some guy doing Pentecostal gymnastics. Since I was born again in that kind of church, I knew all about it. But today, 5 days later, I'm wondering if that was God's way of telling me that if I want to save my wife, my family, and even myself, I need to cry out to him desperately. I need to lose myself, my religious piety, my well-manicured humility, my pseudo-intellectualism. No wonder shouting, 주여, Lord, fell beneath me. So from here on out, I will flood my bed with weeping and drench my couch with tears. That's from Psalm 6:6. Crying out, Lord, thank you for already healing my wife, for Christ took up our infirmities and carried our diseases. Matthew 8:17. Show its manifestation soon. Maybe this is the beginning of a great healing and the redemption of the Chang family, broken too often by a broken father and husband. Amen. That's what I wrote on December 21st, the day I turned 65. Some of you who are theologically astute may feel alarmed by some of what I said. Visions, hearing God, healing, all of that. We can talk about that another day. For now, I'll end with the psalm that has become my anchor, Psalm 63:1. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. This is where I am. This is how I am seeking him. And this is how he's meeting